Yo, what up? What up? Good morning, GMG. Thursday. Oh, yeah. November 7th, 2024. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler, Mando. Good morning, boys. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Just having some audio and visual issues.
I mean, you having like audio visual issues is like the meme of this show since like I'm saying 800, but we may be closing in on 1,000. So I'll just say 1,000 episodes. It's the story of this show. Mando and his tech difficulties.
How do I stop it from keep on going out of focus? I need to.
And that's the Sims question, and he's in Vegas right now.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So Sims doesn't. He's like, dude, this guy's like speaking at some like Halo event or some shit.
Already?
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see his profile?
That's what he told you.
So I didn't realize this. I wasn't deep in the gaming circles. He's famous for this. Like,
he's famous. Yeah. Sims was kind of like the Farouk of Halo 1. That's what he said to me. I'm just using his words. Sims is speaking on stage. Look at him. We have an echo. Check.
Yeah, it's me, obviously.
But why? Wait, why would we have an echo? What's your audio coming out of? Let's fix this. It's fine. You can unmute. It's not your phone, is it? Because you're not even here.
No, I can hear you. It's coming out of my computer right now because at the same time as my camera not working, suddenly my roadcaster is also not working.
No, I get it, but your this connected to your computer. Just link it, plug it directly in the computer hole.
Yeah. I know how to fix it. It's just not working. I know how to plug in the roadcaster to the computer, but I'm just trying a different multi-USB.
MP Boogie came up with a good idea. Put a raffle in the Rect and Rug Video Discord to pick a winner today. Holders only. It's not a bad shout. All right, Mando's gone. Anyways, I was serious. He is speaking. Look at this.
Sims. Producer Sims, shout out.
Look at that. The Sims. The Sims is speaking today. Or not today, or this week at least. The broadcast links here. Let me post it. He's speaking in Vegas. A Halo 2 LAN event, 20 years in the making. Wow, it's for the 20th anniversary of Halo 2.
Very cool.
Yeah, let's Google Sims. The Sims Halo 2. Halo Esports Wiki. Oh my God.
There he is. First result.
Wow, look at that. Sims was, so for those of you not familiar, Sims is he's actually big shot now. He's our VP of media, Dastan. So he runs a lot of our media debt, but he also still produces our show. And he's not there right now. And it seems like he was quite the celebrity in the gaming world. Richard Sims is currently a freelance esports commentator, host and presenter of the ESL UK coverage in global PUBG esports and the Halo Championship Series. Interesting. Huh. It's been a hot minute, but returning to the mic. Okay. Well, Sims, we wish you luck. Can't believe you
also look at the tables and the slots.
And at the table. I mean, that guy is like a winning machine at the slots. Oh, looks like he is so back. Look who's back.
Audio.
Hello.
Video not.
It's fine. This is fine. You're perfectly fine. Nice engagement ring.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyways, we were shooting the shit talking about Sims. And his
I saw the photo. Wow. That's,
it's quite
pretty emotional. Look at it.
Oh, is he? Yeah. His alter ego apparently is Johnny Sims. That's what I heard, but that's a whole other thing.
What?
Maybe we don't go there. Just it's early.
Wait, you haven't heard of Sims's alter ego?
No.
You haven't? I'm actually not going to share my screen here. Anyways, so I should probably wait. It's 10:15. We haven't started the show. Today's show today. I am sidetracked and out of focus. Market report, right? Let's talk about the market. Mando, I need you to tell me if ETH is ever going to catch a bit above 2,800 because it's driving me insane.
Didn't it do that today?
It did that, and then it just like didn't. Everyone, dude, I swear to God, .ETH, the second we like touch that like lower like that level, they go crazy, and we always get smacked down. So we just need the .ETH to start celebrating on the timeline.
The .ETHs have price alerts. So the second that Bitcoin ETH or ETH Bitcoin flip screen or ETH Sol flip screen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So anyways, we'll talk about the market. We'll talk about Tyler's top 1,000. Let's see if Tyler has a top 1,000 yesterday. He didn't yesterday because there was way too much going on the election side, but hopefully you have some more stuff to go over today. And then last but not least, we'll do a Robit loot box spin. So we have not decided how we're going to pick the person. I'm going to be really transparent with you guys on the show. We always are, but we'll figure it out. Okay, don't worry. Just make sure you're retweeting though. That's one thing for sure. The show's not retweeted on your page, probably gonna not get chosen. And then last but not least, this show is powered by Galaxis with seamless built-in monetization tools. Galaxis enables the development of sustainable long-term communities, fulfilling Bitcoin's vision of centralized freedom and independence from centralized control. Mando. Are you ready? Yes, you are.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Yeah, GM everyone. So
Good morning.
It is the day after the Pups migration. I've been in my chat. There's been people who missed it. It's very important for everyone. Other than that, we do have the Fed today. The Fed is the Fed will be a quarter point BIP reduction. It will really just guidance on whether he's going to do it again the year. Because then we have one more after this one. We have another one. Nice little Christmas Fed meeting.
Wow.
We'll see what happens there. But largely, I think people they're actually a bit mixed. So like since Donald Trump came in, this is what's happened in macro. Stocks hit all-time highs. Mm-hmm. So across the board, the S&P had its best post-election day ever yesterday. The big winners were Tesla and Coinbase. Coinbase was up 30% yesterday. So that Coinbase ETH, as I keep saying, I think I quite like that trade. You had the dollar. The dollar's at a 4 or 5 month high, which is not traditionally a good period for crypto. You've also seen bond yields go a lot higher. So the 10-year is back also at a 4, maybe even 7 month high, I think, on the 10-year. But the whole yield curve has just gone up, which means that, your mortgages are going to be more expensive, all that sort of stuff, which is the complete opposite of what people were expecting. People, as in like inflation's been coming down. People were hoping that, we were going to now go to a period of easing from the Fed. What the market is telling you is they think the Donald Trump coming in potentially leads to more inflation, or more persistent inflation, and that we will have a slower rate cut cycle there. Now, part of that, I think, is the tariffs that he's talking about. Like, part of his economic policy is built around tariffs. But yeah, the market is kind of calling the bluff that you're going to get your groceries cheaper in the US. That they are basically saying they think inflation is going to be higher for longer here with Trump coming in, stronger dollar, and maybe more inflation for a little bit. Or at least they won't be able to cut at the same rate. Now, we don't know. Like, obviously, Trump's not in yet. None of those policies have happened, but that's what the market's saying. That being said, inflation is at 2% right now, so it's kind of thereabouts the target rate. So with that in mind, the Fed probably should keep on cutting rates, but it's very unclear when Trump comes in, like what sort of policies he will enact and how vicious they'll be on tariffs and how aggressive they're going to be in terms of prices. So yeah, look, that's what the market's saying. It's saying stocks are going to go higher. We're going to have probably inflation and interest rates going to stick around for a little bit longer, and that means the dollar is going to be stronger. So the dollar versus the pound versus the euro, like it's looking strong. So for crypto, if you're priced in dollars, particularly for someone like me who lives in Europe and has most of his assets in dollar crypto, then you're in having a good few days. I think if you look at the Bitcoin chart in most other currencies, it kind of smashed through all-time highs, whereas here we're kind of just above it in the dollar.
Okay.
So today, you're just looking out for what the Fed is going to say. I expect them to probably to keep on with the cutting of interest rates, but I think the market's looking through that to next year and what some of those policies might entail. But generally, like a good period here for markets. Very, very tough to say that Trump wasn't viewed massively positively by the stock market and by crypto and by a lot of big tech. It was a very, very
Wow.
In terms of crypto specifically, we had ETH outperform for the first time in a long, long time. Bitcoin dominance did briefly go down to around 60%. I need to check where it is today, but I mean, like you said, everyone on the timeline super bullish suddenly on ETH. Let's see how long that persists for. But Bitcoin dominance is now at 60%. So maybe election day was the cycle high for Bitcoin dominance. I'm not giving up on that just yet. Like I said, that's the only day.
Not if the whole Bitcoin reserve conversation keeps on going, which seems like it's like Senator Cynthia Lummis is like all in talking about Bitcoin, right? So like yes and maybe no, right? Like they're really pushing that.
Part of that is priced in here. I think what people are really getting bullish on, if you see what's been moving, it's been the DeFi coins. DeFi and the concept that we could have broader crypto policy beyond just the Bitcoin reserve bill. That's what people are getting bullish on, just because it looks like
wow, look at Radium. Holy shit.
Right, news. So like you don't normally see that.
We talked about this on the show last week.
We're fucking oracles over here.
We're honestly fucking really good this year. Like we're on a tear. Like this is genius season.
I told you the ones I thought would move the most, and it was the DeFi.
Ina, Maker, Aave, Lido, Phantom. Let's go, baby.
So
I have none of them, but nice.
Phantom is more of a DeFi chain as well, right?
Yeah.
You have
Mantle, Arbitrum, Arweave, Ondo, Celestia, Starknet. This is all the tops. Mantra. That's wild.
Yeah. Well, there's two reasons. One is Wintermute, I believe, proposed a fee switch for Athena yesterday, which would be similar to like what Uniswap was proposing. So the money that Athena makes would be able to be distributed to the holders of the protocol of the tokens. So people getting bullish on people being able to do that with DeFi coins again. Maker obviously similar as a fee switch, and Radium hasn't done that yet, but that would be a big win for. I think it's the biggest wins here would be in Solana DeFi coins, just because the volume's going through them versus the market caps, just on a rel basis. But pay attention. I think the biggest ones we've spoken about, like Radium, Camino, Jupiter. There's a few others, but like I think that's where people will get really bullish on. And then the second thing is it looks like Polymarket is now predicting that the Republicans are going to win the House. So you have a clean sweep. You have Trump, plus Senate plus House. Which means that the ability for them to push through policy is going to be a lot easier.
Control the entire government in the sense, right?
Yeah, which is what you need for crypto policy. Like the only way crypto policy gets in was either going to be a very bipartisan sort of bill, and like they did support a range of different candidates from both sides. Actually, some of these crypto PACs, but I would say it still had a rightward lean to it. So their ability to push through crypto regulation with all three is a lot easier again. So if you were looking for the most bullish scenario for crypto, it would be a Republican clean sweep. And the number of pro-crypto candidates coming in. So I think you do provide like a tailwind here for ETH, or at least the ETH network. I don't know if ETH is the best thing to own there, as I keep on saying. Like I think I would prefer to own coin.
Pepe on the day, right? It's up 12 points.
Right. Oh, yeah. You could buy ETH meme coins, or I would buy Coinbase if you're more looking on like an activity basis, or you could buy some of these DeFi coins. But I think people are going to get bullish on crypto policy again here. And that might even take away some of the shine from meme coins a little bit.
Cool. What do you think, Tyler? What's your read on the market post-Trump? Election?
There's a lot to unpack.
There is.
I think there's an interesting discussion already starting. Like, are we going to see a DeFi renaissance? Does that mean the meme trade is over? Or meme's going to get overshadowed by more true utility tokens? Or perhaps are we going to see like the next wave of ICO booms, and people will start investing in projects versus just the financial nihilism stuff and the memes. I feel like it's all of it. Like I don't know that. Like hopefully it's not going to be like a PvP. Like, hopefully we can see all the sectors win. That's what it feels like. It feels like they all have tailwinds right now. Regarding all the alts, I think it's a little early to start celebrating just too much. I feel like I want to see a little bit more. I think for the majors, again, Amanda said like this was the best possible outcome, so it's hard not to be pretty bullish here for the next 3 to 6 months, until Trump is in office and we start to hear a little bit more about some of his plans and the tariffs and how that might potentially impact it, because that could get a little messy. But that's still months out. So it feels like clear skies for the foreseeable future. I don't really think there's another way to put it.
Yeah, it feels good. It looks everything looks really good, guys. Like in terms of like coins and shit, like even like especially memes. I mean, let's talk about this, guys. Like, what do you think? Like this, does this mean it's better for the altcoins? Or is this meme trades just keep on keeping on, right? Like I think you, me, and Novi were talking about this yesterday, Mando, quickly or something. I forget. It was somewhere we're just kind of chit-chatting about this. Like, what do we think, right? Do you guys think, like which trade continues, right? Or is it both? Is there where both continue?
I think it's up. Crypto market cap is going up. I'm less certain about like what will be the main winner over the next 2 months.
Okay.
There is a very credible case here that DeFi has a like a bit of a Santa Claus rally, we would call this.
I love the Santa Claus rally.
But also in that world, like meme coins can go parabolic. What we saw was that DeFi and meme coins led since the election. I think it's still tough to imagine if we start to see like a renaissance in like people looking at DeFi again, that people also wouldn't come in and start gambling a bit. So meme coins might still lead. But they, that could also run AI. I think it's been, it's still like a super, super strong trend that had also a decent bounce. I would say between those three, I'd probably bank on still meme coins having dominance.
Yeah.
But there'll be periods of time where like, I think DeFi and AI can probably take a decent amount of shine here.
Yeah, I like this idea too. Yannick's here in the audience. Just a reminder, we do broadcast every day on video. In case you're not familiar, and the video show is 10 times better than the audio show. This stage of Spaces is just for you guys, those who just want to listen. Yannick is saying, I like the idea that Bitcoin dominance, breaks down once total makes a new all-time high. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what we're looking at here in terms of Bitcoin dominance, Mando. We're at, oh wow, yeah, it did quite dump yesterday. Today, actually, daily. Oh wow, at some point it went sub 60%. Looks like where it's headed right now. Finally, some red over there.
look at the last 5 times it dumped. Like
the last 5 times. So, one, boom, 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 boom. Like, it kept ripping, right? Like here.
The strategic reserve thing is interesting. I would tend to agree that in its current state, it probably is priced in. That doesn't mean Bitcoin flows are going to stop by any means. There's still other factors. I think where it gets really interesting is if they start the conversation of actually buying. So in its current state, it's just holding the Bitcoin they have.
Yeah. And
if they start talking about buying as like an inflation hedge or just like that's where things could get nutty.
This is the kind of post that's really, bullying it up, right? Like when you get a post like this, 5.8 million views, 77,000 likes, we're going to build a strategic reserve. Like, they went from we're going to build a wall to we're going to build a Bitcoin strategic reserve. I really like that. I mean, what they meant by wall, they meant a buy wall. And I think that left or right, you kind of, we're okay with that wall, right?
I think the Bitcoin strategic reserve bill is actually more difficult to get through than just a crypto regulation bill.
Sure.
There are Republicans in the House and in the Senate that, Bitcoin could threaten the US dollar and they'll have to be won over there. Whereas just like a regulation bill is kind of what you need. You need a bill that puts regulation on tokenization at bare minimum. No country in the world has put through, apart from El Salvador, has put through a strategic reserve policy for Bitcoin. And I think Bhutan, did something similar as well, but that's more on the mining side. But But a lot of countries have just put through basic regulation around tokenization, and launches and that sort of stuff. And the US has nothing. It has nothing. You need crypto regulation.
And there's a good signs with the FIT 121 bill. I think we talked about that
Yep.
perhaps a few months back. They're trying to scrap it. So like that was the pro crypto bill, but basically what the crypto the group supporting it and the lobbyists basically are like, we can do better than this now. So they're swinging for a bigger type of bill.
Yeah,
So
they're like, they know, right? They know, and it was bipartisan too. I think the biggest thing was that the Operation Choke Point assholes out. So I think the fact that guy Sherrod Brown or some shit, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that he lost was a massive win for everybody when he lost his Senate seat in Ohio, because he was one of the main proponents of Operation Choke Point 2.0. So that's good in that sense. And I guess we'll see where the rest, but definitely let's build that BTC buy wall. All right, so the market's looking good. 75.3 here on Bitcoin, so a nice bounce from the morning. Actually 75.4 on Bitcoin. ETH broke a pretty important level here yesterday, ran to 2080 quickly. Let's see if it manages to get to $3,000, but that's pretty much air till 3.2K. I saw KBM, a few of the traders, Kobla Schiller, bunch of people talking about that as well. Solana, guys, Solana hit $192 yesterday. We're actually back around 190. And then our memes are doing good, but I'm gonna let Tyler go into that, I'm sure, in his top. What did you send me?
One more quick on FOMC. So I know Wiz is he says things.
You gotta tread lightly with Wiz.
Sometimes you get reactions or whatnot, but he has this interesting take, or he's saying like, what Powell could send us to the stratosphere or completely wipe everyone out. I'm trying to think through like what's the outcome here that would wipe out the recent gains.
Nothing that Powell would say. Like, Powell would have to make a judgment on upcoming inflation under Donald Trump, right? He would have to come out and say Trump is going to make inflation happen. That's a very political statement and a very presumptuous statement. The bond market is saying that that's going to happen, right? But Powell can't really say that. He can't come out and say, "Hey, Donald Trump's going to cause us to have inflation." Like, Powell has to be reactive rather than predictive. So, to a large extent, he's probably just going to have to say, "Yeah, we're going to cut rates. We're probably going to cut rates again by the end of the year." Like, there's no reason right now. Like, inflation has been bouncing very slightly, like 0.1% above expectations. Oil is still below, it's around $70, right? Like, it's not a situation here where we're talking about raging inflation across a range of different things. But there's a world here where Trump pushes through, tariffs for the UK, Europe, China, the sort of stuff that he was doing in the first, Canada, right? Like, he's talking about Mexico, he's talking about tariffing everyone. So that's what the bond market is saying.
Got it.
I don't think Jerome Powell's having that fight already.
Well, it looks like 25 bips today and 25 bips again in December is the heavy favorite right now.
I think so. The real complications come next year. That's what that's the real question here, is like, what happens next year if Trump says, "Hey, we're going to put 100% tariffs on a range of different goods from Mexico because they're actually made by Chinese companies," and similarly for Canada, or we're going to start taxing the UK and all of Europe because they're not funding NATO correctly. Like, he's definitely, his view is to reduce taxes on domestic and increase tariffs. That's like a big centerpiece of Trump's policy plan. And that may work, because last time what he managed to end up doing is he kind of threatened the tariffs, and in the end a lot of these other countries just kind of gave him money to not do those tariffs. So maybe they don't even get pushed through. Like, maybe the tariffs are not even as bad and it's just a bargaining tool, and it actually was quite successful. Well, who knows? Like, I didn't look at the detailed economic analysis of what happened, but he definitely won over some credibility there for being able to basically play trade war chicken with some of his biggest trading partners.
Sure. No, I think that all makes sense. It's too early for him to start to telegraph or project out Trump policies and how they're going to impact, right? Like, that's not really his job. So we'll see later today, but yeah, it feels like it's gonna be safe, and it feels like it's the Santa Claus rally. It feels pretty.
Definitely feels like Santa's coming to town, boys. Let me tell you that, and he definitely is coming to town. So ho ho ho, motherfuckers, hold on to your bags, because we are going much higher. And speaking of which, Tyler, I want to talk about my meme coin bag. So let's get into that.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis.
Oh no, can you still hear me? I lost the sound.
We hear you.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. All right.
Wait, could you hear it if I do this?
For daily NFT and crypto.
Did you hear that?
That part I did, but
Oh, I muted my thing here because Vanessa thought it was a really good idea to get a cleaning lady in the house during my fucking show. So like, there's a vacuum going. I don't even know what I need a clean lady for because I got an apartment. But go on, Tyler.
no worries. Let's get into it. I
The
thought
people got to hear the jingle. The people on Twitter heard the jingle.
they did. Okay, great. I thought the most interesting story of the day was the French whale who made $40 million plus on Polymarket. He revealed his method, which enabled him to make that bet. So we'll get into that in a minute. I'll save the details, but that was quite the story. Crypto majors green, led by ETH. We saw those DeFi tokens, Radium, soar on the day. Ethereum ENA token up 20% after a Wintermute proposal to turn a fee switch on. We saw Grass up another 30% to $2.5 billion FTV. Quietly one of the biggest winners of the last few weeks. The Bitcoin ETFs, $620 million in net inflows on $4 billion in volume. I believe that may have set the record. ETH ETFs also up $50 million in net inflows on the day. Coinbase stock soared 30% yesterday. Basically everything up and to the right. We saw JP Morgan rebrand its blockchain platform to Connexus, which will allow Forex services along with on-chain privacy, cross-border transactions, and more. And as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, crypto lobbyists have set their eyes on changing that FIT 121 bill now under the Trump presidency and Republican Congress. In token airdrop and protocol news, Arkham Intelligence announced a new Arkham points program along with the rollout of its new perps exchange. Pump.Fun rolled out a new tipping feature allowing users to tip their Memecoin devs when transacting. Star Atlas announced a new $4 million loot fest for its Solana-based space games. Then Rec Brands, shouts to Rec, they announced their $1.5 million seed round yesterday, completely funded by community and angel participants. In memes and NFTs, Memecoin majors were mixed this morning. Doge was down, Shiba down, Pepe was one of the biggest winners, up 9%. Mog got the Binance, I think the perps listing, it briefly hit $1 billion, down and retraced since then. SMR was the runner of the night. It's doing crazy things right now. We don't really necessarily need to talk about it. A lot of token and supply control happening there. Lock-in hit 100 million for the first time. We saw Hawk Tua girl, Haley Welch. She alluded to an upcoming meme coin drop on her X page. So that's going to be one to look out for. Epic Duck partnered with Play Solana. We announced it yesterday, but we got to hit it again. They have partnered with Play Solana to roll out branded handheld consoles, along with an epic airdrop for the first 3,000 units sold. ETH NFT leaders mostly green alongside the ETH pump, no crazy moves. And then Magic Eden introduced a new global currency, G3, allowing users to buy and mint NFTs with any supported EVM currency. And that was the roundup, but quite a bit more news since the day before.
Wow, that is quite the news. Let's start with the Polymarket whale. So it turns out the 4 top accounts that I was sharing yesterday are him. So he straight up made $50 million in profit from this trade. Incredible trade. I mean, I can't even fathom making 50 mils profit in one shot. So this is it, right? The French Polymarket Whale Commission polls with a specific alternate methodology, the neighbor method. 1, what a baller. 2, what a killer example of how betting markets can surface such contrarian high quality signals. So what is this neighbor method? Did you look into that, Tyler?
Yeah, so basically his core, I wrote about this in my newsletter this morning as well, but his core thesis was that people wanted to vote Trump, but they didn't want to say it. That they were
that's the case. Yeah.
So, and that's why traditional polls were underweight Trump. So what he did, he basically hired a polling company to go out and do polls for him.
Genius.
And instead of asking them who they were voting for, they were saying, who do you think your neighbor is voting for? And he thought this was an indirect way to understand who they probably are voting for themselves and get more honest results. And when he got the data back, he saw that Trump was
This is great.
overperforming quite a bit from compared to traditional whales, and it gave him the data he needed to make the $30 million bet. I mean, and he bet on the popular vote as well, which, I mean, that as we all know, that was a huge underdog bet. So like, it's not like he was just slamming money into Trump as a slight favorite. He was making the bets across the board. He was making bets in the swing states. So like he had it, right? So he had the data. I think there's a lot of takeaways from this.
Wow.
One, he exposed just problems in the existing polling systems that we have. I think we talked about that on yesterday's show.
He's comparing the polling, the level of polling in France to the level of polling in the USA seems quite different.
Yeah, I'm curious if he is close to like how the polling methods in France are. And
I'm going to be telling him for the next French elections, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of if this guy bets again, I think people will be.
This guy now has become the top market mover of poly market. Like at this stage, this guy can like control the market.
Oh yeah,
right, Mando, you muted. Is that what you're trying to?
No, I'm saying it's banned. Do you not hear this?
Yeah,
France is banning it.
Yeah, but he can just take a quick trip to Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's messy. If you're
So
a Democrat, though.
Isn't it so incredibly French that the guy made 42 million? They decided just to ban it.
Well, not only did they decide to ban it, he's probably going to have to pay like 45% tax on it.
I actually don't know. I don't know if it would be considered betting or not. Sometimes,
Well, is gambling taxable in France? It depends. In Canada, it's not. It's like fully, you're not going to taxed on gambling. Actually, all of crypto is gambling, so technically, no, you have to. Does France tax as general principle under French fiscal law? Gambling gains are not subject to income tax. Oh,
Wow.
Depends if it's classed as gambling. Then,
it's the same here. So it depends if. I mean, he could if he probably has a good lawyer. A good lawyer could argue that, right? Like prediction markets and gambling. I don't think there's a precedent in terms of law. You know what I mean? Like at this stage, like you have the best tax lawyer, right?
It's a lot. It's a lot of.
That could be classed as gambling, but if I
think it's
the thing is like there are certain rules, which I know even in Portugal, right? Like that if you are a professional gambler, like that is your job, that you are charged income tax.
Got it.
So they might also be able to argue that this is his professional. It's
the same here, right? So you don't get taxed on gambling in Canada, but if they can prove that it's your profession, you have to pay taxes. Like if it's your main means of putting food on your table.
You know what I've realized was in the autofocus issue?
What?
Was the background.
Yeah, I know. Your background has been a pain to everyone for the last 6 months, but I love you and I love Epic, so I'm not going to tell you to fuck it off. Pardon?
I bought a green screen.
Of course you did. Oh my God, this is great. So Bernie, you know how Bernie does, obviously you know, but the streams for Epic, like his shit is perfect, but also it doesn't help that your arm thing is in front. So it's that's also your other issue, I think. It often tries to focus on your microphone and your arm, because see how my arm, I put it like this. So you have to put it under and then unscrew this. So instead of setting up like this, you should set up like this. You know? Yeah. So unscrew that top part, like Tyler and I, from under. So you want to really like scoop it. Anyways, Tyler, well, market is pumping, lads.
Bitcoin's ripping to all-time highs again.
Moodang, Goatsy.
Moodang. Okay, can we take Tyler, did you have meme coins part of your thing? I really want to talk about meme coins because they're doing really good.
Oh God, they just rugged that SMR token. Wild chart. Yeah, let's talk about memes. Let's see what's pumping. Goat, $820 million market cap. I
bought some yesterday, Mando. I bought some this time
within all-time high there. That is looking good, folks. That is looking real good. Fog's at 440. Moodang's up 36%, 240. Looking real nice.
PNUT. I'm gonna go.
At what point can I talk about my favorite meme? Like 50 mil?
What's your favorite meme?
I'm not gonna talk about it.
Don't jinx anything on the show today, broke.
Okay, so let's anyways, Tyler, what else do you have for us today?
I included it on the top movers.
That's nice.
It's definitely on the list for sure. There's a lot to talk about. I mean, if we want to, we can always come back to memes, but let's maybe we can talk about more substantive things. So the grass token story, I think, is a really interesting one. If you want to pull up the grass chart,
Yes,
it's one of the best charts in crypto.
So what's the grass token story? Because I saw a lot of thought about it when it first came out, right?
Yes. So grass is technically DePIN. It's a service that allows you to share your unused internet bandwidth. With like a central provider, and then you can earn from it. And I think there was a little bit of FUD around the airdrop because people had been running this for months and kind of giving away their internet. Perhaps some concerns of like what else that would mean, like any private data. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. And then they only got like a couple $100. So there was a little bit of FUD from that, but perhaps like this style of launch is what we're going to see more of. They came out low. And then they've just been able to march up since the airdrop. Like if you zoom all the way out, so this is zoomed out. Like instead of trying to come out at the highest FDB possible, right? They went the alternate route, and now everyone who's bought the token is up, and that's just a different mindset, right? From the recent token airdrops we've seen, where you try to maximize that airdrop value, then everyone dumps, and then everyone gets it.
Maybe we're back into good airdrop season. We haven't had that since January, right?
Really, like farming has been dead.
The last good airdrop, Jupiter, I think.
The last good airdrop. I mean, it's about to be airdrop season again. Like I think we're gonna have SOS, ENS type airdrops come.
Everyone's gonna be releasing tokens. Like everyone, and some big companies like MetaMask might go for it.
Well, you have MetaMask that could go for it. You have the
why doesn't MoonPay go for it? Let's get Keith on here. MoonPay should do a token.
No, I think MoonPay is gonna go the IPO route, bro.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's more of their thing. And I'm saying this based on no information. I just think that's the route that they're taking. And then, I mean, dude, there's a lot of them. I mean, we're cooking.
I mean, do you remember Christmas 20? We got that SOS token, like on Christmas Eve.
We're claiming it on Christmas Day.
I remember having my laptop at my mom's Christmas table, and she was really pissed off.
I think I got like 60 grand.
Yeah, I made a lot of money on that.
Crazy amount of money.
Yeah, I think it was $100,000 Christmas. I bought new computers for my entire family, of 2.
So protocols out there. This is us telling you if you want to make it a fun Christmas for Web3 participants. Consider
it would be really nice if I got like my Rect airdrop before Christmas. If Rect drinks or drank points, whatever the fuck these things are, want to come out. Hi. Tell us what's up.
There's going to be some focus on this now, right? So like Magic Eden, I think, is one of the bigger
Magic Eden
in focus right now.
Monad,
huge user pool. Monad, I don't have a sense from like how close is Monad.
Q1. Just so you know, like January and February, I think everyone's launching a token.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be massive. Pay attention. I mean, look, like straight up, like you should really pay attention to what we're doing over the Myriad stuff, because I mean that's stuff that we've talked about in public. I mean, our Rug Radio holders have been waiting for a long time for something to happen to what they've been holding. So that we're doing a whole migration and everything very soon as well on our end. So I've been talking to a lot of people in the industry, and so I just know that like there's a ton of I don't want to to jump the gun for people, but like there's a ton of TGs in January, February. Like it's a lot. Like people are lining up like crazy. They all pushed, right? The summer TGs, and everybody went to TG in September. So September was supposed to be like TG central for like everyone. It didn't happen. So everybody pushed their TGs to like
base could do a token. Someone just put in the comments base token.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be the biggest token that could possibly come.
Base token makes more sense now in the regulatory frame. Like Paul Grewal yesterday was talking about it, right? Like not the token, but was talking about how regulatory wise, like for Coinbase in their case, it's like so much better. Do you guys think there's a world where like they just drop all the cases against the exchanges? Maybe not against the KuCoins of this world, like the Chinese ones, but like
I think they will drop or move to settle at very low levels. A lot of the ones against US exchanges.
Yeah, slap on the wrist just to say that they did something. Like, hey, Coinbase, give us like $200 million type shit.
Coinbase.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of else. Kraken probably.
Well, they have Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, KuCoin, And
But KuCoin is
Crypto.com.
based in like the Seychelles, and
CryptoCom does a lot of business in the States. They could get a slap on the wrist fine.
CryptoCoin is trying to do a lot of business in the States. That's very true, but they are Singapore based, as far as I'm aware.
I know, but they're like US centric in terms of their user base. Like it's a US, like a lot of Americans use Crypto.com.
Well, they sponsored a bunch of stadiums.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like they're ingrained within the US.
Yeah.
Like if you're hurting Crypto.com and I don't use it, but you're kind of hurting US participants, right?
I don't think it's I think CryptoCom. I would agree with you that most people who aren't in crypto would probably assume that was a US company, but it's not.
Yeah.
But they did come out literally today and said they wanted to create a US stablecoin. They want to have more operations in the US. Like maybe that's also them. That is a strategy from them.
Yeah, we are ripping right now.
Yeah, look at just pull the Bitcoin chart. I think we have to. People are pouring into the space.
I'm looking at my Ethereum longs right now because I did long the Ethereum market, and I'm very scared of Ethereum. Hold on. Here. Yeah, Bitcoin chart is fucking ridiculous. That's the
75.9.
Look at this 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. Look at this 4-hour candle we printed.
That's
You know what we call this candle? A Trump Tower. It's literally the same shape as the Trump Tower in New York. Have you been there? On
About to
Fifth
see some
Avenue?
crazy, by the way, here, guys. Like, I think you're about to see a lot of meme coins go absolutely bonkers.
Have you seen Solana?
Let's just pull up everything.
Gold was at 192. Yeah, that's moved quicker than I thought it would. I think we said that if Bitcoin went to 100K,
I'm never going to forgive you.
20,
I'm never going to forgive you for 2 weeks of Solana FUD. I almost got rid of my bag.
Come on. I flooded it during a period
Two
of it
fucking
going
weeks.
sideways or down.
You and Ovi were saying that Tron and BSC is going to take mindshare away from my memes, and I got so
did.
scared for a hot second.
It did.
My favorite trader.
And then I got back into it. I told you when I went back into it.
My favorite trader. Mando is my favorite trader. Is my favorite influencer. Is my favorite trader. And he almost hurt me.
I know.
These things happen.
I told our other co-founder who Cali, the other day. He tried to fund me out of my goat bag the other day. I told him he should sell Luce, that meme, literally at the top, right? I was like,
that was
70 million. I was like, look, dude, you should take some money. He goes, I'll only sell if you sell all your goat bag. And I was like,
oh, this is done. By the way, this was the scam pump. It's done. This is zero.
I think it might still go.
I don't know why it's pumping, but like everything's pumping, so I'm just not going to question pumps. But Goat flipped Mog. How about that?
Goat flipped Mog, but Mog got a fucking Binance listing overnight. Why don't you talk about that, Tyler?
The listing happened.
Why don't you talk about that?
It ran into $1 billion, and now it's already been refunded.
Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about the fact that Binance Perps is listing Mog coin? Huh?
I don't see what it. I guess I didn't realize it's not already there.
Why is that not part of your Tyler minutes? What
it was. I mentioned it. Come on, give me some.
I don't think a perp listing is that bullish. I was speaking about it yesterday on Rec Radio. Like, I actually don't. They think about all the recent perp listings. You've had Mog just now. You had Ponky the other day. You had what was the other one? Like, you had Goat. You had Mudang. Every single one of them, you've had to sell off straight off.
I mean, look at the wick, right? It's pretty wild that we wicked $1 billion there.
To be fair, Ponky's bounced right back now, but so maybe it's like
Mog.
What? But yeah.
Mog, it's starting to. We'll see. Starting to bounce.
One thing is becoming abundantly clear.
Cup and handles.
Cup and handle season.
It's cup and handle season, bro. I knew you were going to say that.
It's playing out.
Except for Whiff. Except for Whiff. I swear to God, that dog is fucking like.
It's close, man. It's a 10% move from breaking out.
What a cursed trade, though. What a cursed trade. How's PNUT doing? I took a PNUT gamble. Oh, let's go.
So like the Beeple last night, I think, had PNUT riding Elon.
Up and handle season, baby.
It wouldn't surprise me if PNUT was $1 billion coin. Like I'm not putting any ceiling on PNUT at this point.
So I bought some PNUT and some GOAT yesterday, but finally did it. I got into GOAT when Mando said this thing's going to $1 billion tonight, around like 700 millish. I bought it 700 more, 750. So I tailed, and then PNUT, I took the same size trade for the only reason that PNUT is not Trump's, which is even better, Elon's mascot. Elon's last mascot last cycle went to $80 billion and to $40 billion because Shiba Inu is Doge, right?
Mhm.
So if Elon sent a coin to 80 and 40 billion, why can't his new mascot go to billion? But then Mando made the counterpoint, which I think is right. He said, only if he keeps tweeting about it. So I'm monitoring that. So if Elon doesn't tweet about it the next couple of days, then I'd be worried about the fact that he's kind of like given that he's stopping. But if he puts a tweet out today or tomorrow, then I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to stick to the trade, right? So like for me, it's really just like a short-term decision. But I think Mando has a point, but the RR here for me was like, okay, well.
That thing yesterday where the squirrel turned up at her rally, I think really extended it.
Yeah.
But you keep on having those sort of moments, you know what I mean? Like I just don't know. It's who knows? Who knows if Elon decides, yeah, we're gonna keep it up for the rest of the year. Like
it's riskier at 150 here, like for sure. And I think the next 2 weeks are key. Like if Elon continues to tout it over the next 2 weeks, I think you can feel pretty comfortable. Like if he doesn't in the next couple of weeks, you're probably at risk.
Yeah. I mean, look, yesterday Elon retweeted the everyday 2 days ago, the everyday from Beeple, which had the PNUT. Beeple made another everyday with Elon and PNUT on his back last night. So I don't know. It kind of helps that Beeple's kind of pushing the PNUT narrative on Elon. I'm not gonna lie. But that could also be the end. So we'll see what happens there. Tyler, shit, I just saw the time. Let's pick a winner soon. But what else? Is there anything?
One last quick story. So good and bad. So there was a Hawk Tuah coin launched yesterday. Haley Welch shut it down real fast. So I actually praised her for doing that.
It launched
an hour later. No, it was just like a random one that they tried to use her like
our favorite influencers again, Tyler.
But then she teased her own coin. So it looks like there is going to be a Hawk Tuah coin.
Oh god.
I would buy that.
I gotta run, guys. I gotta take my daughter somewhere. So I will.
Okay, you can do that. We'll pick a winner in your behalf. So
I think it's a big event. I don't know that I'm like super bullish on it. We were pulling up the podcast stats. So we were doing the boys in the trenches. We were doing some due diligence on this. I think she came out of the gate super strong. Looks like she's 74th in the US for top podcast, which I mean is pretty good. Like it's hard to get a top 100 podcast in the United States. It was ranked in the top 3 when she came out, so it does look like it's fallen off a little bit.
Okay,
so that kind of checks with me with kind of where her like popularity is. Like she's clearly leaning into the crypto thing, and she's like goes to the conferences, and I think she's a nice girl. Iggy Azalea had some success with Mother Token. I think that's like
I would take the trade for a quick trade. I would get in and out of that one, personally speaking.
You could get in early at a low, sub 5, sub 10s.
I don't know. Like, remember I got into Mother at like 5 mil and I paper handed it for a trade, but then I would have made like probably like 200-300. I think it was my size was 200 grand out of like nothing. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, of course, but I see it that way as well.
Yeah, and that one went high.
Yeah. What's Mother at?
I think it's still probably around like 50 or 60.
60 million. That honestly, this is impressive. I don't know how much room it has to go much higher. Like, what else would it take for Mother to go? But it's looking good. Mando's coin actually is looking good today.
Yeah,
Mando's coin is actually looking nice today.
One of the move fell out of the 24 hours, but from bottom, it jumped up basically 100%.
That was a nice jump. You have Pepe here. Like, I'm waiting for a trade. If it can break here, like I like the Pepe trade. If ETH manages to go to $3,000 here, like if ETH manages to really like go like because ETH is air, right, to 30 here, right? So if ETH goes like here, that region here, I think Pepe and Mark can be in serious business.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for it. I think WIF probably needs Pepe to run. I don't know that it runs.
I don't know what WIF needs to run anymore. Fucking Solana is $192 and shit's not going. Like it kind of annoyed me. I took my losses and moved on. But it's kind of like, I don't know. Like I have a friend of mine that was trying to buy WIF there that I told him not to. Because I look at the board on Sol. Like look at this, for example, Tyler. I know you and I are both in lock-in, but like Retardio 225. Look how beautiful this looks. Like what do you take a punt on, right? So you have small size, mid size. What do you take a punt on? Or here, look at this. I know you Tyler and I are both in this one, so just full disclosure. But like, you know, I see this. I see even Mando's coin, Mudang. Like that was a better trade. Like if you and I both plowed Mudang over WIF, like we'd be in the money big, right?
If you time it perfectly, of course.
I even prefer PNUT still over WIF here. It's just that Mando like really raised a good point to me in private. And I think we talked about it on the show. We can talk about it more tomorrow because we're on time. But he asked me a question. He said, what has your success rate been trading meme coins above $1 billion? The truth is, for me, I have lost more money trading coins above $1 billion, like meme coins above $1 billion, than I have under $1 billion. Under $1 billion, I have done a fucking killing cycle. Like, killing. Above $1 billion, I've actually only lost money.
Well, I think it's probably a smaller sample size, right? Like I don't feel like I trade memes above $1 billion,
Right.
really, ever.
Every time I take a stab, like a lot of times I take a stab, I lose. Recently with Pepe, right? I took
It's a lot more risk up this high, right? I think the bull case is the index play.
Yeah.
The big ones are in the index.
Yeah.
So if the bigger players are going to come in, they want exposure, they're going to put top 5 on the board. Right?
Again, Murad.
Yeah.
Like Murad again. Like Murad once again, just being index play, right? So like you have the Murad memes are looking good. Oh wow, did your USA bounce? It bounced a little bit. But you know, you're looking, it's not.
Yeah. That's sad. It's we probably need the USA team probably needs Mini and Lock-in to just go up another 50%, and then people will just feel bad for USA and they'll start to buy
Yeah,
it.
I don't know, but the USA trade, I'm just worried about politics. That's it. I'm just worried about the political trade being finished.
The political trade is finished. I just never put it in that bucket.
Yeah.
And perhaps that was my mistake.
Brother, PNUT trading like someone knows Elon's about to tweet that shit out. Look at this.
They like the squirrel.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong. I didn't go big size, you know, but I went small size, and it could be a fun trade, just for fun, week trade. All right, let's pick a winner. Tyler, how do you suggest we pick our winner this morning? Fuck, I just saw the time. My bad. I probably even have a call now. Fuck, I have a growth call from Myriad. Okay.
Should we just do a quick spin on the Twitter, or just like put your finger?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me just tell my partners that I'm on the way. Elon, I'm 5 minutes late to call, on my way. Shit, I didn't realize I had a call. Let's pick from the audience, yeah?
Let's do it.
But picking from the audience, should we just like okay, let's just do that. Fuck it. Let's just do that. So let me go to the bottom and then all right, tell me when to stop.
Now.
Here you go. Boom. Let me make sure they follow. All right. Make sure they follow. There's no retweet of the show, so go again.
All right. Are you spinning? All right. Now.
Here you go. Oh, Emlo, let's go. Emlo, look at that.
He just won. Do we want to do the cooldown?
Emlo, damn. M fucking low. Let's go. That's crazy that you picked Emlo. Is Emlo joining the stage or what? Emlo's been listening to the show every day. That I know for a fact. By the way, ETH is going. Emlo, I sent you a fucking request, King.
He might feel bad. He won last week.
No, Emlo didn't win last week.
Marco?
No, Emlo. There you go.
Oh.
You know this, right?
What's up?
Emlo was good.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
Emlo.
Did I win?
Dude, you won.
Holy shit. What's up?
Oh, I see. Because Emlo is also Marky Mark guy that won last week.
You didn't show me, so I didn't know.
I see.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Emlo, let's go.
Emlo was good, brother.
What's good? Happy to be here. I've been here every single day for the past 2 years.
I think-
time I won.
I think you're one of the people that have listened to like every it was FOMO ever. You were here since GM NFTs. Like, yeah. You were listening to OV Mando and I the first day. Wow. That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's get a CryptoCom.
All right. Fuck it, dude. Let's get a CryptoPunk.
Let's do it.
Uh-oh. Checking contents. Hold on. Checking contents. 1 second. You were a red guy.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go. This one's worth 2K. Love that, Emlo. I know you're a fan of the boys, so congratulations. You were a $2,000 red guy.
Thank you guys so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being a loyal listener. There you go. Another $2,000. Listen, y'all, we can't be giving Spurtle Gremlins, Miladies, and Punks every day, but at least you can get a red guy. And they've got a lot coming on with that. We'll sell tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.